What's up, guys? It is Derek from dasedesigns.com with another YouTube tutorial video. Let's get to it. In this one, I'll be going over the Pathfinder tool as well as the Pathfinders and the shape modes within the Pathfinder section. So in case you didn't know, you can always go up to the top and go to Window. Here's where all of your different sections, tools, and everything can be found at for the most part. Pathfinder is usually in between navigation and pattern options. It's in alphabetical order. It's one of the things that I always have checked, like swatches as well, stroke and layers. And the Pathfinder tool is really important. I use it a lot, pretty much every day whenever I use Adobe Illustrator. The main two tools would have to be the Unite tool as well as minus front, minus back, and then merge is a great one, and divide as well. So I'm going to touch on these, what they do, and how you can use them to, help out you guys' workflow and so on and so forth. So yeah, so let's get started. We're going to begin with the merge tool, which is very simple. So you have two objects and you want to merge them. You could have like a face or something, and then you have like two eyes on the top. Put them like this. Let's say you wanted to just merge them or just put them together. I'll just do it with everything. So say I just wanted to merge each shape together. So it doesn't matter if it's on the top or the bottom, whatever shape is highlighted and they're overlapping. You click Unite, it will merge them together or unite them. And it will usually take the color of the top object, but if I'm not mistaken, so if I just do these two, it'll be this mint color right here. Awesome. Okay, so, and same for this one will be white because the circles that were on top were white. So yeah, that is pretty much the merge tool. The next one I use a lot is the minus front tool. Say I wanted to have these two colors right here, or these two ovals, act as like pupils, and then this would be like the overall face. You put a mouth right here. So now you have a mouth, two eyes, and then this would be like the shape of the face. So say I wanted to cut those into like, make those holes within the white shape itself. So you could just do minus front as long as the whatever you want to subtract from the shape is on the top. So again, it takes the shapes and minuses the front shape from the shape that is on the bottom or the shape that is on the back. So yeah, that is pretty much the minus front tool. Next up, we're going to move up to the Intersect tool. So if you just take a quick look at the tool itself, it shows two objects, one on the bottom, one on the top, and they're both overlapping. And pretty much what it does is it deletes the outer parts, and then whichever part is intersecting is what you'll be left with. So let's see if this works correctly. So I'll go like this. I believe I would just be left with this portion right here. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with the mouth and the eyes, so let's see. Okay, so yeah, I was pretty much just left with this face right here. We can put it back to purple. So yeah, that's pretty much what that does. If you didn't really understand what happens, I'll do it with two other shapes right here. Put this one that color, and then the next one will be a lighter mint. So if you highlight both of them, this shape right here is what we will be left with in the end after we do the Intersect tool. So yeah, again, if you can pretty much, if whatever objects you guys have highlighted, say you have two circles or whatever, whichever part of the shape is overlapping each other, so this part right here, we push the Intersect, it will leave us with that shape. So this one can come in handy depending on whatever you guys are doing. Again, like if you're creating an eye or something like that and you wanted a specific shape. Well, hold on, let's see if I can get a good example. Wrong way. Okay, so yeah, so you had two circles and you wanted to make somewhat the shape of an eye. You could just use the Intersect tool and then you would have the shape of an eye, as you guys can pretty much tell. Here would be our pupil. Oops, wrong one. So yeah, move this over here. Boom, boom. Make a smaller version. And then there you got your eye. So the next tool pretty much does the reverse of that, and that is the Exclude tool. So whichever part is not intersecting is what you'll be left with. So if we were to go back to where our eye is, it would pretty much leave us with this shape right here, and our eye would be subtracted, or the part that's intersecting in this case is the shape of an eye for the most part. That would be gone. fireworks going off in the background. Sorry about that. If you guys are watching this on the 4th of July, happy 4th of July if you guys do celebrate it. Yeah, and I hope you guys enjoy your day. So yeah, again, it's pretty much the opposite of the Intersect tool. So bam, now we have that, and you can just right click with your mouse and then push ungroup, and then you can move them freely. So now we have somewhat of a crescent for both sides. So yeah, next up we have the divide tool. So this one can be used quite often. It's one of the better tools, or one of the tools that I use more often. For whatever reason, you know, say you had like 3 shapes right here, and then you just basically wanted these in the middle, but you don't want to have to do a whole bunch of minusing from front and then do it all separately. You can just put them all together and then just push the divide button, or the divide button, and then right click and go to ungroup, and then you can just delete whichever paths you don't need, and then or objects, and then combine whichever ones you guys would like to combine. So in this case, we'll be deleting those 3, and then we will have these right here. So yeah, boom. Okay, so that is the divide tool. So next up we have the trim tool. This is another great one actually. So this pretty much, it's a lot similar to the minus front and then the minus back tools, or keys, whichever you like to call them. So I'm gonna put this one to the back, change the color. Okay, so for the divide, the trim tool, like I said, it pretty much does what the minus front tool does. So in the end, we'll pretty much be left with this one. So but say you wanted to keep the shape that you have on top that you're subtracting from the shape that's on the bottom if you're minus. So this would be another alternative for using the minus front, but you wanted to keep the shape that's on the front. So again, it'll be separating. So if I highlight these 2, it'll be just this shape right here, and then it'll be this shape by itself. So I'm gonna go ahead and push the button, stop talking, and then boom, we have these 2. We're gonna ungroup these again, and then as you can see, we have these shapes separated. So let me go ahead and do the other one, or just the reverse, I'd rather. So again, say I was to move this one to the back, it's obviously the same. We would just, whichever shape is on the top is the one that it will leave the same, and then the one that's on the back is the one that's getting subtracted or cut up, divided, whatever you like to call it. So yeah, this can be another great tool to be used. And then after that, we have the merge tool, and the merge tool is pretty cool. It's a lot similar to the unite tool. However, the merge tool, whenever you have, I'll just give an example. So say we have a total of 6 circles. So these will be the lightest mint, and then we'll have the ones in the middle. We'll put that color. So boom. Okay, so you'll notice that all of these are separate. And if we hit the merge tool, everything that's the same color will be merged as long as they're overlapping each other. And then if it's not, it won't merge together, obviously. So if I was to use the unite tool, everything will become this color right here. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, it'll merge everything together. But when you're using the merge tool, it only does it for things that are the same color. So as you guys can see, that it just merged those things together, but at the same time, it also cut whichever object was on the top, it also cut it from the one that was below it. So if I was to ungroup these guys, you'll notice that it's just these in the middle, and then these that were on the top were subtracted from the bottom, or the object that was below it, while still leaving the top shape. So it's kind of like a combination of the trim key, or the trim button, as well as the unite button. So yeah, that's another great tool. I definitely have to start implementing this in my workflow a lot more often, the merge key. All right, so next up we have the crop tool. So this one is a lot similar to the Intersect tool, somewhat similar to the Exclude, but mainly it's only slightly similar to the Intersect tool. So say we have 3 shapes. We'll start off with a square on the bottom, put dark gray. I'll put a circle on the top, or above that one, orange, and then another circle, put that behind it. Any time out? Okay, there it is. All right, so now you guys, you'll see that when I put all of these together, it'll pretty much be this shape right here, this crescent, and then this kind of like the half eye, or the eye shape. But it'll all be inside the circle right here, and it'll be the color of these And this is mainly because this one is a lot like the cookie cutter. So it's like a lot like using the cookie cutter. So you take the cookie cutter, whatever shape that is, it cuts it from everything else, and then you're left with everything that fits inside the shape of the cookie cutter, which will be the circle in this case. So if I just push the button, you notice, like I said, that the crescent shape will be the color of this, and then it'll be the lime green. So whichever colors and shapes that were fitting inside the circle is what you are left with. You can always ungroup them to separate them, and so on and so forth. And yeah, to group them, you just highlight them all and then Control G, and then they are grouped. So next up, guys, we have the outline tool, and this one pretty much does exactly what it says. It takes whatever shapes you have and then creates an outline out of them. So if I was to just click on both of these, it will make an outline of each shape, and at the same time the outline will become whatever color the fill of the object is. So if I just push this button right here, you guys will be able to see that the outline changes into the color that it was previously. So this one's pretty self-explanatory. Another great tool if you guys can figure out a few reasons to use it. It's not one of the ones I use that often, again, but the next one I do use all of the time. The minus back tool, I believe that one is. Okay, yeah, so the minus back tool I use quite often, usually whenever I click the minus front and notice that I'm wrong and I'm trying to actually subtract the object that's on the back. So yeah, we'll bring this one down just a little bit more, and then you'll notice that when we highlight both of them, that this is the middle, and then it's going to subtract pretty much all of this area right here from this shape, and we'll just be left with this portion right here. Bam. So this is another great tool. A lot of the Pathfinder tools I do not use. However, this is one of the ones that I do use a lot, as well as the minus front and the unite. I'm probably going to start using the merge button or the merge tool as well, just because it pretty much unites everything that's highlighted, that's overlapping, that's the same color, instead of just uniting everything, no matter what color it is. So again, guys, another great tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I decided to do a speed art towards the end of this video. Hopefully it's not too long. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's just going to be a spray can illustration along with the thumbnail that I did for this video. I hope you guys like them. I have a lot of fun illustrating. It's one of my favorite things to do in regards of design, art, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys and can solve a few problems that you guys have while using Adobe Illustrator in general. So yeah, if you guys like the video, feel free to like the video, leave any comments, feedback, or anything like that in the section below, and I'll be sure to talk to you guys in the next one. Enjoy, guys. What's up, guys? It is Derek from dasedesigns.com with another YouTube tutorial. Let's get to it.